Hey guys, and welcome back to Experiment Doll. Today we'll be making my custom Frost Giant using the Ice Girl base from the Create a Monster Ice and Blob Girl set. Now, I want to say that I struggled a lot with getting a working concept for this doll. Everything that I drew on paper just did not translate well into reality, and so I ended up looking up some reference photos from ancient Norse fashion, and that really helped. I was especially inspired by the apron look and the brooches and strings of beads, as you can see in this rough final sketch. So let's get into the video. Now, I actually started this custom a while back, so all of her factory paint is removed, and she has a cap that I got from Retro Dolls. And so I'm going to start by just poking preemptive holes in her head, and then I'm going to reroot her using this Barbie Arctic Frost in Long. When rooting, always start with the baseline around the head and work your way to the center, and then end by filling the part. Then use a glue of your choice. I'm using tacky glue, and glue all the plugs in. And I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I posted in my story. Some reason all of my Create a Monster heads break. After a quick boil wash and wrapping her hair out of the way, I seal her face with 3 layers of Mr. Super Clear. Then I begin sketching her face on with a white watercolor pencil. Once I like the lines that I've drawn with the pencil, I go in with white acrylic paint and paint in her scleras. And if you're a messy painter like me, you will end up with paint all over your hands. I think I messed up and smudged the one eye, so I had to go back and repaint it. It's okay to make mistakes though. Acrylic paint is actually very forgiving. Then I went in with a lilac color and painted on her lips. I end up going over this with an iridescent purple paint. I always find painting the Monster High lips kind of difficult because you want to make sure that you don't get too much paint piled up in between the lips. I end up mixing blue, white, and a pinch of lilac to get a color that matches her hair to paint on her eyebrows. And as you can see, I flip the head around a lot to get a good angle and a better sight of what I'm trying to do. And as you can see, I am painting that iridescent color over her lip base. I'm using a tiny brush and a shimmery white eyeshadow that I got from the dollar store just to shade the areas that I'm later going to add iridescent glitter to. I actually covered her whole face in this, but I decided that I didn't like the look. I use a light blue mixture to add the eyeshadow on her lid. And even though I'm using a very tiny brush, it is okay to mess up. It's super easy to fix in this acrylic stage. I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my dolls, so I spend a lot of time trying to make sure the details match up and look as even as possible. I switch back to my watercolor pencils and use black to sketch in her eyeliner and eyelashes. I also use a lilac color watercolor pencil to sketch in her irises. And once I'm satisfied with the shape, I whip out my acrylic paints and again use that lilac color to fill in her iris. And I want to apologize for some of these scenes being hard for you to see what I'm doing. I don't know why I went out of frame, but it was probably because I can't see. Here I am painting glue onto the areas that I covered with the eyeshadow, and then I'm covering over that glue with this pretty glitter that I have. And while I'm touching up her eyelashes and eyeliner, I'd like to apologize for this video being late. I had a lot of things going on, like final exams and some personal stuff. I promise it won't happen again. The next video will be up on the 24th. I add my finishing touches with acrylic paint like the eyeliner, eyelashes, pupils, and white eye shines, and then I seal her in using a Mod Podge matte. Because I was having so much trouble with the hair, I did style it off camera, but it's simple and just down. For her finishing touches, I added an earring from Abby. Made her a shirt using a modified pattern, and as you can see, it's heavily inspired by that ancient Norse fashion. And for the little brooches, I sawed a bead in half and ignored that it just popped off. For her pants, I used a modified pattern from DGRequiem on Etsy. I made her some fake sleeves by cutting strips and adding elastic to one end to make them kind of like a bell. I painted a ribbon with these little diamond shapes and added a clasp for closure to make a belt. I filled a mini bottle with glow-in-the-dark glue, some pastels, and some glitter to make this cute little potion bottle that also ties around her waist. And last but not least, I took some Abby Home Ec shoes that I painted with the same iridescent purple that I used for her lips to finish her off. And she's done. I think I'll name her Runa, which means secret tradition in Norse. She has such a mystical vibe. I imagine her being this friendly, fun spirit from Jotunheim. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. And don't forget, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back.